What is up, party people? My name is Kendra Middleton, and I am here with, I think, SNS's three favorite ladies in the whole world. I'm here with Mads, Allie, and Callie. We unfortunately don't have Sarah this week, but we are going to bring you guys another Stanley Cup dump show. We're just going to talk about all the matchups because the girls are here with me for the entire show. You can all answer at once. You don't all have to answer at once, but since Allie is at the top, I guess I'll ask her first. Allie, how are we?
I'm so good. How are you, Kendra?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. So I have a couple questions before we start that I'm going to ask all three of you, just so everybody can get to know you guys a little bit. You guys host the Myth and Chicks podcast, so make sure you guys go check that out. But I know, you guys know how, when it's your first day of school for the year, they make you, describe yourself in a couple of words, and it can be kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So I have something like that, but it's more fun. My questions, it's not like you have to, bring up 3 facts about you, because I hate when people ask me to do that. I just want you to say your name, where you're from, what your favorite team is, and how you became a fan of that team. So, Allie, I will start with you.
Perfect. I'm Allie. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My favorite team is the Detroit Red Wings, born and raised. My dad is from the Detroit suburbs, and we've always been a big hockey family. So he was raising me and my 2 siblings as Wings fans while my mom was trying to raise us all as Blackhawks fans. I'm the only one that my dad was able to successfully convert. Thank God. It's been real embarrassing for my siblings lately. So go Wings.
Okay, perfect. Love to hear it. And obviously we are a Bev podcast. What Bev are you drinking?
I have a literal gallon of water.
I need it.
Hydration station. We
literal gallon.
Hydrate
Yeah.
or dehydrate.
Hydrated queen.
Hydrate or dehydrate, ladies.
Okay, perfect. Callie, the spotlight is on you, your team, where you're from, how you found them, and I guess your Bev.
Hi, I'm Callie. I'm from Denver, Colorado. My favorite team is the Colorado Avalanche. So I grew up in San Jose, California. So I was raised a Sharks fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Sharks. Then I moved to Denver in 2013. And my family, we just took our love for hockey with us and decided to become Avs fans. And we had season tickets for a year, and just my loyalty stayed with them ever since. And they're my favorite team, and they're doing pretty well. So I think they're a good team to be a part of the original fan base for.
I would say, yeah, more than pretty well.
I'm drinking a Diet Coke because I'm kind of addicted, but that's okay.
Diet Coke is freaking delicious. Mads, spotlight's on you, girl.
Okay.
What's up?
Hello, my name is Madeline, more frequently known as Mads on the pod. And I am from North Carolina, specifically a little town called Winston-Salem, and I am a massive Carolina Hurricanes fan. I am also a New Jersey Devils fan, so you guys can hate on me for that, for loving 2 teams. They're very different.
They are very different, except for their colors.
I feel like I can kind of separate the 2, but my dad grew up in Jersey, grew up a big Devils fan, technically grew up a big Islanders fan because that was his team until the Devils moved. Once they moved, big Devils fan, and that was just a fun way for us to connect and hang out and watch games together and kind of keep up with the sport, and I really fell in love with it. And my beverage of choice today is a Diet Dr. Pepper, although I am with Cal's. I'm a big Diet Coke fan.
As you should.
But today I'm kind of going against the grain, and we realized that there is a dinosaur on my can of Diet Dr. Pepper. Kendra, do you want to explain the significance of this dinosaur in your life?
It made me almost pass out. We got into it at the beginning of the show. I was so excited. I literally am sweating because I just love them so much. They're just so cool. Reptiles are freaking sweet. I'm drinking a Zevia. I don't know. Have you guys heard of these?
Yeah.
I'm on the Zevia vibe. It's the ginger root beer, so that's what I'm drinking today because it is a Saturdays and Sodas. No seltzers for me today, although I think I am going to have a drink with my neighbor on her porch after this. For the people at home, obviously we're going to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs in a minute, but I want to know how you guys decided to start this podcast. Did you guys meet on Twitter?
So we actually met, the NHL has a little youth advisory board called the NHL Power Players.
Oh.
And so it's people ages 3 through 17 all over the US and Canada.
13.
Ages 3.
Oh my God. Guys, it's been like 5 minutes and I'm already saying the wrong words. 13 through 17.
Start them young.
Applications are open now if you would like to apply.
If you're in those ages.
If you're 13 through 17, not 3 through 17, for just making sure we're clear on that. But that is how we met. We met through the Power Players, and we started a group chat because the three of us applied to the University of Michigan.
Ooh.
And the three of us got rejected from the University of Michigan. So it was a bonding experience. And then I made a joke to Callie one day where I was like, we're so funny, we need a podcast. And then Callie was like, now hang on a second. And then it kind of just happened.
Okay. So Callie, how did you guys come up with the name? I mean, I know why Mitts and Chicks makes sense, but how did you guys come upon that name?
We honestly just kind of started thinking about buzzwords, and this is actually the perfect question because I just found our original document where we had the names that we were thinking of. So some other ones were sweater weather, but that would have gotten lost in Spotify with the song.
Yeah.
We had backcheck banter.
Oh,
Bin bin spiel. Pucket.
I like that one.
Pucket, I like that.
Biscuit in the basket. That one's a little out there. But
it got some votes in the group chat, though.
Oh yeah, we asked
Breakaway baddies is iconic. But I feel like you have to be over the age of 18 for that to work on the internet these days.
Yeah, we
are 18 now. We are 18.
We are now.
Oh,
we were 17 at the time.
But yeah, those were like all of the different name ideas. But then just through kind of mutual consensus and asking some of our other Power Player friends, we decided Mitts and Chicks sounded the best. And then we made our little logo and then we got started. And this was all in like the span of like a week. And it came together so fast, but it was so much fun.
That's so good. I love that so much. Okay, so how did you guys find SNS?
I'll take this one. I found SaturdaysNSeltzers because I actually don't know. I think I just followed Sarah on Twitter. Is like the general. I bet that's where a lot of things come from.
Definitely.
Followed Sarah on Twitter, thought she was hilarious. And then at some point, very close to when we started the podcast, like right before, she tweeted that like a girl had messaged her that day wanting advice. And she was like, my DMs are always open. I love when people, come and talk to me. So I slid in and I, told her how funny I thought she was and thought it was awesome.
Slid in the DM.
I know, I slid and I said, I love SaturdaysNSeltzers and I'm a frequent listener. And then like a week later, I got to message her and say, I started a podcast and you and Kendra are one of the reasons, I had the comment to start it. And here it is. And then eventually she listened and now we're friends. So
that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, I listen to you guys on Spotify and I watch all your social stuff and you guys actually are hilarious. And I have to say, Sarah and I talk about this all the time. I'm sure you guys know this. We love to praise, like, I don't want to call you guys the younger generation, even though I'm almost a decade older than you, but like sort of like there's like, you guys don't know what it's like to not have like that technology. And you guys are so responsible for a lot of the like hockey content and culture on the internet these days. And it really just impresses us how creative this like next phase of hockey fans are.
Thank you. So much.
You guys' stuff is hilarious. So we talked a little bit before the show about how you guys are all seniors and you guys are all getting ready to go to college. And Callie told me that you guys are all going different places. So, Allie, where are you going to college?
University of Texas at Austin.
Okay, and how did you wind up with that decision?
Okay, this is actually the most embarrassing story I'm ever going to tell my entire life, and Madeline knows it, and I think Callie might know it too. So, oh God, I'm not going to be able to get through it without laughing. So, You know Rob Lowe.
Yes.
You're familiar? Callie. If Callie's
good
laughing,
friend,
I'm going to start laughing.
I'm sorry.
So several years ago, Rob Lowe started starring in one of those god-awful Fox dramas. You know the type. They're terrible. Every episode has the same plot line, but at the same time, it's like something new and like just equally as bad as the beginning, like the first one. It's not Riverdale bad, but it's like think like Chicago Med, think like Grey's Anatomy, but it's a firefighter drama. And Rob Lowe it takes place in Austin, Texas. And I binged the entire first 2 seasons in one night. And it was the best decision I've ever made and also the worst decision I've ever made. So this is one thing that you need to know. The other thing you need to know is that I'm looking at colleges. I have no idea where I want to go. I know my dad went to Wisconsin. I know my mom went to Iowa, and that's all I knew about colleges. And then my advisor was like, she had me take a survey, and then she compiled a bunch of colleges that she thought I might like. And one of them was the University of Texas at Austin. And I was like, okay. It's a big school, good sports, but I'm not even remotely interested in going to school in Texas because that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, okay, well, it's a separate application process. It's not on Common App. If you want to do it, we should go visit. And I didn't really want to do it, but I wanted the day off of school. And more importantly, I wanted to text my friends and make jokes about the Rob Lowe show that takes place in Austin for the entire day. The show's called 911 Lone Star, if anyone wants to watch it. It's the worst show on television, and it means the entire world to me. I actually got Madeline watching it, fun fact.
Sadly.
Anyway. Sorry, Mads.
I'm kind of invested now.
Yeah, I know. That's the worst part. It drags you in and it doesn't let you go. It's like quicksand. But I went down south with my brother. I have a twin brother. He's looking at colleges at the same time as me. And I was fully intending to just kind of make fun of the city and the school the whole time. But I fell in love with it. Like, it was the perfect school, the perfect city. And I applied on a long shot because, most out-of-state students don't get into University of Texas. And I got in.
Wow.
In the program that I applied to psychology and I got in, which... But yeah, it was a total long shot based on a joke. And now I'm going to my dream school.
There you go. Okay, perfect. I actually love that. And plus, I think we all have, some similar beliefs around here without even having to say it. But I feel like Austin is a really cool spot if you're going to be in Texas.
Yeah.
Like the place I would want to be.
If you have to be in Texas, right?
That's the spot to be. Okay, cool. All right. Callie, your turn.
Mine's slightly less interesting, less funny. But next year I will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Woo!
Go Badgers!
Yeah!
Go Badge.
But so my dream school for the longest time was University of Michigan, which, boo.
Trigger warning that. That's all because then everyone trigger warnings Michigan content when they send it to us.
Yeah.
Michigan hockey content or go Owen Power, but trigger warning.
Yeah.
Glad you got out, King.
But I actually found Wisconsin on TikTok, which I think is crazy because I really want to go into the field of social media, doing social media for sports. So I just kind of love this full circle moment that I found it because some girl had posted a day in the life of working for the Wisconsin Badgers hockey team. And I'm like, wait, I want to do that. And so then she was responding to some comments asking her hey, I want to do this too. And then she was like, oh, they have a sports communication certificate program at Wisconsin. So you get the chance to work and do social media for the sports teams. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So then I started looking into it way more, and they have an incredible program for what I want to do. I'll be majoring in journalism with an emphasis on strategic communications, not reporting, because strategic communications, it's so cool. I don't think many other places have this niche major because it's this intersection of communications and marketing and social media and media planning and advertising. And it's just, they have so many cool options within this track. And then I'll also be doing the sports communication certificate program. So yeah, I found it online, and I was having this mental debate between Michigan and Wisconsin. What am I going to do if I get in both places? And then I got into Wisconsin and denied from Michigan. So it kind of worked out perfectly because Wisconsin was starting to overtake it. And I'm really happy with my decision. I can't wait to be there in the fall.
That's so fun. Madison's such a cool town. Have you visited?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
It's so fun. Yeah, I have gone multiple times a year since I was a little kid. Like I told you, that's where my mom's from. So State Street is like one of the coolest like little places to be in every college I've ever visited. I think
Absolutely.
I love State Street. Like I remember when I was applying to colleges and I toured Wisconsin like officially. And my mom and I went shopping after, and she was like, "It's so funny that like I went to some of these stores when I went to school here, and I'm going to these stores with you now."
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh,
I know.
That's so wonderful.
My mom is such a nugget. Like she's just the cutest little human ever. I love her so much. Okay, last but not least, Mads, where are you going to college, my lady?
I will be attending the University of Southern California, which is quite literally at the opposite end of the country from where I live now. But it had been my dream school for years and years. I did a summer program there a few years ago, but I had a little come to Jesus moment at the beginning of my senior year with my college counselor and my family. That was kind of like, we believe in you. You should definitely apply, but you can't really get your hopes up with things like that. Definitely a difficult school to get into. So I had to get a little bit realistic. And I feel like my college hunt was always a little interesting. My dad went to Clemson. My mom went to the University of North Carolina, both great schools, but they were both like first generation in their family to go to college. And those were kind of like, my dad applied to 2 schools. My mom applied to, I think maybe 3, and they were all in state, and she had just moved here. So while they have a lot of attachment now to their schools that they went to, and like I grew up going to games at both, definitely like not in the same vein as families that live here who have like 5 generations of people who have gone to Carolina and things like that. So definitely had some more niche schools on my list that my parents like wouldn't have even known about. But I got into UNC in January and I had my housing deposit down. I was like in the process of finding a roommate. I had paid the school. They thought I was coming. I was very sure I was going. And very happy about it. Like that's an incredible school and I love it there. And I'll always be a fan of those sports teams, but I definitely don't think that was where my heart was at. And then very late March, I found out that I got into USC. So kind of did a little bit of a 180 in about a week. But very grateful for it now. I am going to be a music industry major.
Wow.
Which is kind of out of left field, especially with all the sports stuff, but it's all entertainment. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's so fun. I have to say, I'm so impressed and proud of you girls for all kind of doing something different and scary and going somewhere new and kind of like being like badass women in that way. Like you guys are, that's freaking cool. So like Tyler, can we put a round of applause in for the girls here? That's freaking sweet. You guys are awesome. So I want to move into the Stanley Cup stuff because that's why everybody is here. But thank you guys so much for sharing all that stuff. Like that was very heartwarming. Like I am like kind of fighting back tears. I'm not gonna lie. But into like the lighter-hearted stuff, I figure we can go over the Stanley Cup playoffs together. I had an idea that obviously if you listen to Saturdays and Seltzers, we do an HLH segment to start off our show every week, which is our high, low, hero. I figured we could do our highs of the series, our lows of the series so far, and our heroes of the series, and then we can all make predictions that we can look back at later. So I figure we can start off with the Avs and the Blues series. What do you guys think the highs, the lows, and the heroes have been?
I could start with this because they're my team. Perfect. So I think the highs, definitely the Avs taking a 3-1 lead. Good for them. I think we're on the brink of going to the conference finals, which would be a huge victory, just like mentally, especially since we've had so many troubles with getting past the second round. So that would be my high. My low is just, gosh, the god awful things being said to Kadri online. That whole situation is terrible. It's disheartening, and you see so much of it coming out every day, and these people just making racist and Islamophobic threats towards him. And it's not just comments, it's threats. Like they had to station police officers outside of his hotel room and all around the team's hotel. And it's really hard to watch it go on and know that the best thing that we can do is just to keep calling out this behavior and trying to hold people accountable for it. So it's definitely just been super eye-opening for me. And so that's definitely the low. And the hero is going to have to be Kadri too. He's coming out of this with like just such grace and poise, and the comments that he makes during his interviews and how he just kind of keeps smiling through it all. And his hat trick last night, like that's game couldn't have been scripted as well as it could have been. And it breaks my heart for him, but he's definitely this hero coming out of it. And just, like I said, with such grace, and he's handling it so well. So I'm proud of the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think that has to be my high, is just even his interview last night. Like it kind of, I don't know if any of you saw his post-game interview. I'm sure you all did, but it was kind of just like this fuck you to people who want to be assholes online. And it's like, I know you guys are 18. I can swear I'm not worried about it. You guys listen to our show anyway. You know how we are. But it's like, it was kind of like a fuck you to people who are being Islamophobic or just like I mean, it happens in hockey more often than other sports. I feel like I feel like we're constantly having this revolving door of a conversation, unfortunately. But he was humble, he was sweet, but he was also like kind of like, screw you guys, that one was for you. So that was definitely a high for me. Mads, Allie, do you guys have any heroes?
Goodness, on a similar train of thought, I just feel like the only person that even stands out to me is Kadri. I think that we hate to make these into like stepping stone moments where, oh, look at this thing he went through and then this thing that he did and what he turned it into, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place and it should never happen and there's no place for it. But a playoff hat trick is incredible nonetheless, and it's always incredible when you really see people kind of let it fuel their fire. And I'm excited that this is kind of making us have the conversation that we seem to be having with ourselves and with our friends and with fans. You know, feels like it's every week, but I figure that's how often it should be happening. And hopefully one day there are less inciting incidents for us to have these conversations. But it's been a fun series to watch. I'll take the Avs in general as my hero of the series because they won a cup very recently, so I feel like I shouldn't say this, but I just feel like I never hear a lot about the Blues, and I have not appreciated some of the behavior, some of the play style, not to generalize fan bases because I really hate that, but some of the Twitter rhetoric has just been strange, and I feel like it really came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
So if I'm bandwagoning anybody, I'm an Avs fan right now.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of an Avs fan right now now that I think about it, just because, like, first of all, no offense to the Blues, but I tweeted this today. I understand why Bruins fans hate their fan base so much. Like, they kind of suck as a fan base. And I don't feel that way about a whole lot of fan bases. I think that I've gone through it on the show before. I think it's Yankees fans, any fan of any LA team, Georgia fans, Blackhawks fans, and now I'm adding Blues fans. That's it. Like those are the teams, fan bases. I'll even stand like Alabama fans, you guys deserve it. Like that's fine. But those teams, bleh.
Absolutely.
So
it's not justified
totally
in any way. It's just
so I think that kind of collectively, like on top of the Kadri stuff, is it's just like I think everyone is like in the same boat right now. So that's at least good to see. Allie, do you have any hot takes, any thoughts, anything that you would change as an HLH in this series? Oh, I just hit my
foot. You good?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think there's anything I can say that hasn't already been said. I was already rooting for the Avs. I've got family in Aspen, and they've been my cup pick since the beginning of the year, and I didn't want to go back on that. So rooting for the Avs anyway. Unfortunately, I don't hate the Blues. Just in the past, I have friends from St. Louis, so I've cheered for them in the past. Right now, not the vibe. Not a fan. It's very much like I said, I'm from Chicago, Blackhawks fans everywhere you turn. And this behavior is very reminiscent of some of the behavior that I just hate to see in Blackhawks fans. I can't remember who it was. I think it was the Blues head coach refused to comment on Binnington's actions, throwing the water bottle. And it just reminded me like the way that Blues fans like support that. He shouldn't have to say anything. It's not his, whatever. The way that Blues fans have been reacting to the organization's refusal to do anything is reminiscent of Blackhawks fans' refusal to hold the Blackhawks organization accountable. And I hate that. And I don't like seeing it anywhere from any team. Like I said, not much I can say that hasn't already been said. Go Avs. And I hope that, like Madeline said, I wish this didn't have to happen, but if it did, I hope it can be a learning opportunity.
Agree. So is everyone taking the Avs in a clean sweep? Not of the series, but picking between the two teams, everyone taking Avs?
I got the Avs.
Yes. Absolutely.
Avs. All right. So I'm going to put that in as y'all's decision on my notes over here. Last question about this series before we move on to the next one. MVP of the series. Callie, I'll let you go first.
Kadri. Nobody else.
Okay. Any rebuttal? Anybody have another choice?
Gotta be Kadri.
Okay.
I think we're all taking it. This is I forgot to say in my HLH, I think my hero of the series, we just hated on the Blues for like approximately 7 minutes, but their fan, Layla Anderson, who was like really important during their cup run, she has HLH. Isn't that what it is? She has a disease called HLH, which I think is kind of funny in context.
Really?
But she wrote a letter to Ben, the little Oilers fan.
Yeah.
Who's fighting brain cancer. I should know this. Anyways, that was like a really touching moment, and she signed a hockey card for him and sent it to him.
Too cute.
And that's really, at the end of the day, like that's what the sport's about. So that was really fun to see in general. And, like very classy thing done by fans, like not always driven by organizations, which I think is cool.
Agree. All right, good stuff. So I think we all across the board, that's probably the one series I think we will all agree on as far as who we're taking and an MVP of that series, I assume. Next, I have the Calgary and Oilers series. I will say Allie, HLH of this series so far.
High is gonna be. Ooh, this is tough. I got to watch, I believe it was oh my God, I forget what game it was. It was game 2, I want to say. I watched it with my dad, which was really nice. I always love watching hockey with my dad. It was a late puck drop, so I had to take a power nap between the second and third periods. And then I ended up not sleeping that night because of the power nap, but it was worth it. It was
worth it.
I
passed out like in the third period of that game.
Exhausting. But that's probably going to be one of my lows. Cause I'm even like, I'm a time zone over. I'm in Central Time. I cannot imagine how bad that is on Eastern Time. I've got 2 lows. One of my lows is going to be those late puck drops. It really sucks because it's personally, like my personal opinion, I think it's the most fun series of this round.
Yeah, agree. I think that's a collective thought.
Definitely. It's the one that I enjoy watching most. I mean, it was definitely more interesting than the Battle of Florida. So, those late puck drops are brutal. My other low is the Evander Kane hat trick. I hate that man so much. I only want to see him fail. I only want to see him suffer. The obvious hero is Connor McDavid. There's no way the Oilers make it through 1 round, let alone 2 rounds, without Connor McDavid.
Agree.
Dragging them through it. Like his back must hurt so bad. Poor man. Obvious hero of the series.
Yes.
Or Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk is the hero of the series, actually. Sorry, guys.
Yes, that's another good take. Okay, so who are you taking at the end of this series?
It's tough because before it started, I was like, Calgary, easy. I'll take Calgary in 5 or 6. But McDavid is making, that man works so hard. I think I'm still taking Calgary, but I think it'll maybe go to 7.
Okay. All right. Mads. Oh, wait. Who's your MVP so far?
Me?
Yeah.
McDavid.
Okay. Agree. All right, Mads. HLH What you got?
Okay, my high, I'm basic. My high has also been Brady Tkachuk,
Yes.
which is completely unrelated to hockey, but the fact that he now has a Budweiser deal is just
Hilarious.
absolutely hilarious. And it's just even more layered when you see like that game where Maddie had a hat trick and everyone's focused on his brother is just so hockey. I love like big family stuff like that and good stories.
Yep.
My low, I've been like a bandwagon Flames fan, so my low was kind of the game Sunday, which was definitely not as fun to watch. And my hero, okay, MVP of the series, McDavid. But my hero is every single like depth Flames player. I hate to call them depth players, like if you're playing on like the second, third line, but there are some really fun guys on that team who I love, like Mangiapane. I'm a big fan of Blake Coleman. I know like how Jan Crow's had some points this series so far. And it's fun. That's like I feel similar about the Canes right now. Although it kind of pisses me off in the way of the Canes, but I like when you're not seeing the same names show up every time. That's how you win games, is when everyone's contributing.
That's how you win a cup.
That's the issue with the Oilers. That's why I don't think that they can make it past this round, because it's McDavid's line and McDavid's line only.
Yeah. So I always kind of love to see it when maybe a guy scores and you don't even know who he is. Like it's always makes things a lot more fun to watch. So I think that hero for me has been a couple people. It kind of changes every game, and that's why I am selecting the Flames to take it. But I do think it'll take a while, and I think it's somewhat like, I was about to say it's dependent on tonight for me, but that's not true, because we did have a conversation, I think, in one of our episodes about like this idea that we have of series momentum that really doesn't exist all the time for players, because like each game is a new game for them, versus we kind of are watching our thing saying like, well, whoever takes it tonight takes it, and like whoever wins the next game, like however fast we do it, that's not really a thing.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I don't know what I think, but I do think the Flames will take it, and I do hope the Flames will take it, and it'll be fun to watch.
All right, you heard it from our resident Flames fan. All right, Callie, your turn. HLH, your MVP, and who you're taking, my girl.
I think my MVP is Ben. I think he's adorable, and I love watching all of the content. And Play La Bamba Baby is just a phrase that gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I just think that the way that the organizations, as well as like Layla, that situation was so adorable, and just like how the opposing teams were always giving him like seats and special experiences and notes of support and just things like that. It's really classy, and I think it shows like this kind of softer side of hockey that we don't often get to see during the playoffs, especially. So I think that it's been a really great storyline to follow. And I know this is a basic answer, but my high is Brady Tkachuk. It's too funny.
Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. Like, I don't even care if everyone's answer is the same. Like, you know that it's that good. And it's just like him with the freaking beers in his pockets, man.
It's so funny.
So good.
I wish I had siblings, because like I get it and I love it, but if I had siblings, I feel like it'd be 10 times funnier.
Yeah, that's how I am with my sister. Have y'all seen the video of Brady Tkachuk hoisting that random ass kid up on his shoulders?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just some kid in a Tkachuk jersey. Literally art. It's so funny.
That's like a core memory for that kid.
Exactly.
Unhinged people are the best people.
As Sarah Campbell said on her podcast No Game, the Tkachuk Theater reality show, and I fully support that. I think it would be so funny, or at least just like what's going through their heads as they're at this game, and the dad refusing to throw his hat for son's hat trick.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my lucky hat, or it's my favorite hat, or something. I don't know. It's so funny.
Keeping up with the Tkachuks with a T in front. Didn't we tweet that?
I tweeted that, yes. I did.
That is
that.
I don't know how I didn't see that, but that's the funniest thing that I have ever heard.
I am certain I was not the first person to come up with that, but I tweeted it anyway.
That is so good.
Too good.
Okay.
I would die to see, like, just give me like some social content with the family and like their sister Taryn too. I think that's her name, Taryn. They're too funny.
UVA
I should
Bucks.
steal that domain now and just start posting the highlights.
Yes. I think my low would have to be my heart breaking for Jake Ottinger.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say the Evander Kane hat trick, but that was already been
Rip.
said. So I just Jake watching the
I'm
Flames.
a big Jake fan.
Yeah, just go from like not being able to score on the sky to open scoring basically is just kind of my heart breaks for him, and it just shows how good he was.
Yep.
And I miss him.
We were
not
big
really a
time
Stars
rooting
fan.
for that kid.
Yeah,
me too.
Not really Stars fan, but for Jake, I wish they went through just for him, or at least can like the Flames like sign him to like a 1 month contract so he can just go for it.
Imagine.
Yeah. Then I guess my hero, I'll have to say it's Ben too. That storyline has also just been. I love how like there's the two like not contradicting but two different storylines in this series, with the Kachuk like thing being really funny and then the Ben thing being really heartwarming. So I think I love it's just a series with good stories, which I think is definitely like something we don't see very often in playoff hockey because it's so intense. So
it's
take Flames
funny.
in 7.
It's funny because like obviously all of these series have different storylines, but it's so funny to see how different the storylines are. I mean, we just talked about like the unfortunate shitstorm that's going on with the Blues, and now it's like we're talking about how little kids who have terminal diseases are writing each other letters, and like how the entire internet the people on hockey Twitter know all the ins and outs of these series, but just how different the storylines become as the season goes on. Okay, who are you taking and who's your MVP?
MVP, Ben. I think I don't know how to say his last name. Stettlers. Is how you say it? So I don't. If I can't choose him, then I'll have to say McDavid too. But,
okay.
Flames in 7.
Flames
I've got hope.
7. All right. I think. All right. I like it. I like it. Okay. Both series. I guess like obviously we're not picking anybody here because the outcome was very swift, and I did not expect this like all of you. Mads, I'm gonna ask you for your HLH first after that reaction. I think a lot of people are shocked. Let's hear it.
I actually don't even think I have enough words to formulate my HLH. I am not doing well. And also, I'm not doing well because I think that the Canes are going to take it, and I refuse to face this Tampa team. Like, I'm sorry. I won't do it. Can we, like, boycott or something? Can we, like, switch conferences for, like, a hot second? I just, like, don't think it's fair. I don't know how you get on the ice and make the best team in the East look like that.
Yeah. In a sweep.
Best team in the league.
Like
President's fucking trophy.
Like
President's
those are
trophy.
That's like I don't even no there are no winners. No one's a hero. The heroes are the friends we made along the way. Because
okay. So your low is the sweep. Your other low is that you think that that's who the Canes are going to have to play.
So many lows. I'm not ready. Also, you just want good things, and like I loved the storyline with Drew. Obviously
the commercial's gonna age so poorly.
Stop. We always laugh at the one on commercial. He just wants one. And they couldn't give that to him, which is obviously really sad. So God, I hate when like really good teams play each other too. Like sometimes you want to watch a series with a bit of an uneven matchup because if the better team takes it, you're like, well, this makes sense. And if the underdog takes it, you're like, this is what playoffs hockey's about. And, you know, it doesn't matter what the regular season looked like and anything can happen. I kind of hate when we have these moments where we're like, it's anybody's game. And then it turns out this bad. Like it was an absolute massacre. And that always seems a little bit. So.
Okay. So do you have a high or a hero?
No, my hero is Stamkos because I think he's a great captain and I love him and I think if anyone deserves it, he does.
Okay.
But I don't know. Same thing I said with the Canes. I guess like recurring theme, but their depth is just so impressive and amazing and like that system that they play in, everyone's an impact player for the most part and that just impresses me so much. And I think people play their best hockey when they play that way. Obviously whatever they're doing is working. So it's definitely fun to watch.
Okay, so that's a high.
If you remove every like emotional investment that you have in the entire series, then I guess
it's repeat. I am going to be insufferably angry.
Oh, okay, listen, this is our hero. This is our collective hero. Sorry if I'm shouting him out. I'm gonna use no names. We met a kid in Vegas at the All-Star game whose father has something to do with the Tampa Bay Lightning. We will not disclose exactly what his job is, but if they three-peat, we will be attempting to get an invite onto the boat. So
wow.
Assuming
our hero is this kid. Assuming he ever like wants to see us. I don't know what kind of terms we left off on, but
okay.
I don't even want to talk to him ever again.
Well, but Allie.
Because
I'm DMing you the story. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Because if our low is watching the Tampa Bay Lightning win another cup, we might as well go to Tampa and be in the boat.
On a boat. You might as well cry on a boat.
Exactly. With the Stanley Cup right there.
Yeah,
you could lick it.
I would love to lick it.
I would
so lick the Stanley Cup.
Like our boy Brad.
Wait, I learned today that Jordan Bennington's girlfriend peed in the Stanley Cup.
I saw that.
I didn't like it. What?
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't. Really there's like a picture of it and everything, and I
didn't like it.
And people ate out of that thing. Like the Tampa Bay Lightning ate out of that thing.
Dude, I don't even want to know what goes on with the Stanley. Like
in their right mind. Like you're in the presence of Lord Stanley's Cup, and that's what you.
Can you see it's kind of like overexposed, but I'm attempting to show Kendra right now.
Him for that, and honestly, her.
Bennington deserves every mean word that's been hurled at him, not only for the Kadri incident, but that as well.
Yeah,
I hate him so much.
Okay. All right. So, Allie, what is your HLH?
Okay. Battle of Florida, baby. My hot. Oh my god, I don't even know.
Oh wait. Matt, who's your MVP and who are you taking? Oh wait, not who are you taking? Who is your MVP?
Oh,
who are you taking?
Goodness, I feel like my MVP,
right? Sweep.
I would say like be boring and say like Vasilevsky. No. My real MVP is the entire Florida Panthers team or whoever was clubbing. I don't know like the exact names of whoever was out, but we had a chat about this in our broader group chat with a lot of our friends. And it's funny, it pulls such different reactions because some people are like, this is such a disgrace to the game and like they threw away game 4 and whatever. And on the other hand, I kind of think it was a power move. Because 100%. If you like, I don't even think they were going into it thinking they were going to lose. They were just like, apparently what we're doing isn't working. So we may as well have fun before. Like maybe that's good for morale.
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Was it?
I heard a lot of people saying that this isn't out of the ordinary though.
It's not.
I bet it's not.
We know for a fact that every NHL All-Star was at a club till the early hours of the morning, the night before the All-Star game. I know that that's it's obviously very different, but clubbing before a game, especially a spectacle, that's not news. We all know it's happening.
Well, I forget what it's called, but there's a really great documentary about Vegas's first season. It's like the only one that really exists, but incredible movie. If you're a Vegas hater, you should watch it just to have like some
Vegas hater
respect for the team because I think it was actually a very well made film and like makes you feel for them or like the first iteration of them in a way that maybe you didn't before. But they do talk about how their long running joke is that the reason for their success so early on is because people would come to Vegas and party because, you know, prior to that, there hadn't been an NHL team in Vegas. So you put a bunch of guys up in Vegas. What are they going to do the night before the game? Like your road trip's not that long. So obviously, I mean, it was due to talent and whatever that team was fighting for. But it is funny to think about what kind of role that plays because they did
Mhm.
crack some jokes about it.
Yep. All right. Allie, you are on the clock, my dear.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I had a high and then I forgot it, which is honestly kind of just the vibes for the series altogether.
It's a forgetful series, other than the fact that like the Panthers, it was a battle of the old men. I said this last week, I think.
That's so true.
It's the battle of the old dudes, like trying to chase one.
That's so true. Okay, actually that reminds me. This wasn't the high that I initially thought of, but this is a high. My high is the Washington Capitals TikTok team taking the TikTok that the Panthers posted that was like us when we find out like the average age of the Capitals, and then the Caps like hit back at them and they were like, and it was a video of the Panthers laughing and it was funny because it's like, haha, they're old. And then I can't remember exactly what the Capitals said. I'm gonna pull it up because it actually made me laugh so hard. They just like, no prisoners, no mercy. One sec, I have to watch it and figure it out.
The Washington retirement home.
The Washington.
Oh man, that's deep.
Oh, it was just the Capitals posting a video of their team the Capitals posting a clip of their team laughing. It says us after remembering how many cups the Panthers have won, and then it's like they like show the like Panthers swept headline. Very funny. Thank you very much.
That is good.
Capitals TikTok social team. So that's the high. The low is my brackets. My poor brackets.
Yes.
I had several and none of them. I don't think any of them. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I had any of them. I don't think I had the Panthers beating the Lightning. I honestly am miserable because my thought process going into round one was, if the Lightning beat the Leafs, we get to keep the first round exit jokes, which is all I wanted from this. But then the Lightning get closer to a three-peat. And then I thought, I don't know if the Lightning are good enough for a three-peat. So I'm going to root for the Lightning. And once they've done their job, I'll let the Panthers take care of them. And we saw how that ended.
Yeah.
I remembered the high that I was going to go with. My high is that this Tampa Bay Lightning team was built by Steve Yzerman, who is now in Detroit. So there's hope for our future.
The Yzer plan.
From this, I honestly, the first year that Tampa won the cup, I was like, this is actually a victory for the Detroit Red Wings. But I can no longer pretend that these are Detroit Red Wings victories anymore. I'm sick of the Tampa Bay Lightning winning. And when is it someone else's turn? But yeah, my hero is probably Claude Giroux, who deserves better. I love you, King. I'm so sorry. And like Madeline said, whoever was clubbing that night, good for you, boys.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a comment about the clubbing that I forgot to mention. I'm trying to pull up the photo for those that are in the pod currently, so we can all react together. But have y'all seen the photo of Joe Thornton in the back of Kendall Jenner's Instagram story, like on her party bus with Mitch Marner?
No.
We're on the way to a UFC fight. I figure like last year. I don't know when this was. And
Allie, who's your MVP? While she looks for this?
Story.
While she's looking, my MVP is Vasilevsky because I'm boring. But those statistics about his like last however many series clinching games is insane.
It's unreal. Anyways, it's really blurry, but this is Kendall Jenner's Instagram story. And in the back is Joe Thornton and Justin Bieber and Mitch Marner.
Please.
That is. Yeah,
Please.
I need
like
that.
Who did she think he was? You know what I mean? Like prior to being introduced to him, was she just like, why is there a scary homeless man on my party bus? Like, not to be mean to him, I love him.
Oh, you're right.
But like was her security okay with that? I just think this is so funny.
That is really good. That's really good.
There's also somewhere out there, there's like a photo of Joe with the Kid Leroy and Justin Bieber.
He is like
and Austin Matthews.
God.
It won't. I wish y'all could see it better. But
he is
just know that
living
it
his
exists.
best life.
It's so funny too because like does Joe Thornton have an Instagram? I figure like maybe he
Definitely
doesn't.
not.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because
And if
it's
he
just
does,
funny
he
because
doesn't run it.
the Kid Leroy posts like his Instagram story and it's like at Justin Bieber, at Austin Matthews, and he tags everyone and it just says at Joe Thornton and there's like no underline because it doesn't exist.
That's so funny.
So funny.
Just a random old man.
Oh my God.
The random old man. All right, Callie, HLH and MVP.
I'm gonna be pretty boring because I have mostly the same things to say as everybody else. It's definitely not the low's definitely Tampa winning. I don't want them to three-peat, but they have such a good playoff mindset that it was kind of inevitable, and they play so well in the playoffs. Doesn't matter how they do in the regular season. But yeah, just them winning. I'm actually, yeah, like you said, I'm gonna be insufferably angry if they three-peat. But my high will probably have to be them putting Joe Thornton in for one game. So at least if this is his final season, at least he got his last one. Go Sharks. We're big Thornton and Marlowe fans in my house. So
yes, I assume.
It just breaks my heart to see them both kind of be sent off in such bad ways. So I think that's definitely, but the high is he got to play. He got to play in the playoffs one more time if it was his last one. And Giroux's, I don't know how long Giroux's contract is, so at least he got to play one more time. But yeah, it was a great season for them. So at least they kind of got, if this is it, they got sent off in like a good regular season part. But it was kind of inevitable. I mean, it would have taken a lot out of this Panthers team. And I just don't think they had the sort of mindset to have them go forwards.
Okay.
My hero, I think, Vasilevsky, the stats, just, it was like 4 goals and 300 shots or something, which is just, it's crazy.
Unreal. Yeah.
He's got to be my MVP
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, so since I came to you last and I want to go to Mads last for the Canes Rangers series, I will let you get your HLH MVP and who you are taking out of the way.
Oh my goodness. I've not watched much of this series just because it's before Avs games. So I'm usually having like a nervous breakdown about the Avs game instead of watching it. Yeah. I let these games affect my mood completely. It makes it more fun. But gosh, I really couldn't tell you much about this series. Which is kind of sad.
Perfect. That's fine. Any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts at all?
Are the Canes winning?
They're still leading, but it's
go Canes. I think the Rangers are like, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of annoying. I can't explain it, but like they don't have the drive or anything that it takes to win, and I don't like to see them keep going forwards. So I hope the Canes just take them and show them who's boss, and that the Canes will come back after taking it to 7 games, and then I hope the Canes take Tampa. So that's what I want. So Canes.
All right, Allie.
Madeline turned me into a Canes fan this season. Absolutely heartbreaking. But I am a Canes fan now. My high of the series is the game at MSG where they, for some reason, accidentally put the Red Wings lineup up on the board as the Canes lineup because it is the closest the Detroit Red Wings have been to being in the playoffs in 7 years. It felt like a crossover episode. I'm very tired. I miss my boys, and I will take any crumb of content that I can have.
Fantastic.
My low is going to be the Canes remaining 0-4 on the road. It is not sustainable, and I hope they can get it together because if they do end up playing Tampa, they're going to have to win some road games.
Yep.
My hero. Ooh, do I have a hero? I don't know.
What was our episode title? What was the NHL? An unlikely hero.
An unlikely hero.
That's what they called Ian Cole.
We thought it was funny. Like I was saying, imagine scoring like a game-winning goal in a really, it's an important game. It's the playoffs. And they're like, an unlikely hero. It's like, damn, can I just be a hero? Anyway, my hero is going to be these 2 random guys who scored game-winning goals. I really appreciate that for them. It was Ian Cole and Smith, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, who was expecting them?
Nobody.
Right? Oh, trust me, as a Canes fan, I don't think anyone understands the gravity of like who has showed up in these playoffs.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that. They're my heroes. And yeah, I'm taking the Canes. I want to say the Canes in less than 7, But if they
Okay.
can't learn how to win a game on the road, it's going to be
Yeah.
Canes in 7 again.
Math is hard,
So,
man.
I'll just say Canes in 7.
Okay, and then so far an MVP. Obviously, it's a little early, but who has stood out to you so far?
Not the people that should.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Fair.
sorry.
Sadly. Honestly, MVP is PNC Arena. Every time I watch one of those games, I like mourn the loss of playoff hockey in Detroit because like the energy in that arena is just so electric. Like that's
Is it still Little Caesars?
It is Little Caesars Arena, or affectionately the Pizza Arena.
Pizza Arena.
But yeah, no, the energy is just so good. They're the real MVPs of the series, and
that's how I felt about TD Garden. That's how I felt about TD Garden.
Yeah, that's how, because I went to a Wings game for my birthday a few weeks ago, and the difference in like love and positive energy in Little Caesars Arena versus the United Center, which is where the Blackhawks play and where I see most of my hockey because I do live here. It's like I was like, whoa, you guys don't boo your own team when you're disappointed in them. You support and love them unconditionally. What is this?
Life as a Jags fan too, man.
Yeah. So seeing how incredible the Canes fans have been, especially in an unexpected market such as North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm sure you're sick of hearing that, Madeline.
No, I'm not actually, because it's very true. And my dad sent me today an NHL article or post or something of the sort. It was on the Canes Instagram that the NHL named us the best fan base in the NHL. I was wondering if it was one of those things where they did like so-and-so is going to win the cup and then they wrote an article for each team. Or did they actually name us the best fan base in the NHL?
They might have.
I think they did.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm for it. I love my team.
They're awesome.
Okay.
Southern hockey.
All right. Southern hockey. Hell yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I worked in SEC hockey for a hot minute, so I love Southern hockey, even if it's shitty sometimes. But, okay. So, Mads, it is your time to shine. Let her rip, Tater Chip.
I don't even know if I'm ready. Okay. My high was that I got to go to last Friday's game.
Okay.
Which was a big blessing. My first playoff game, and it was absolutely electric. I got to meet our dear friend Sarah Campbell, and she took me up to press row. And that's where I watched that game's first goal. Which was so much fun. By none other than Brendan Smith. Guys, I actually can't recover from it. None of it makes any sense. But so much fun. We played so well Friday, especially in comparison to how we played Wednesday, first game of the series. That was a bit of a roller coaster. We looked horrible in every period but the third, and then continued to show up for like the 3 minutes of overtime hockey that we played. So good coaching choices. Watching them kind of try to bridge that gap and having them look so good and look the way they did on Friday. We definitely look a bit more like we're fighting for it now than we did. My low has been that our stars are not shining. Sadly, it's been a little dim. It hurts because there are a couple guys on our team who I think are impact players, even if they don't always show up on a score sheet. My personal favorite or good example of this is Vincent Trocheck, who I thought brought a lot of fun fire during the Bruin series that Kendra watched a lot of, I'm assuming. But he hasn't been doing the same now. It's kind of like every time he steps on the ice, I expect something to happen and it doesn't. And I can say that about a couple guys. I think Svetch is getting better, but he.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Main low is Martin Natchez.
Okay, wait.
Our good friend Martin Natchez.
You cut out.
You just cut out. After Svetch, what did you say?
Okay. My real low is our good friend Martin Natchez, for those of you who are familiar, who has so much potential, like ridiculous untapped potential, has had a horrible season and continues to be quite literally horrible in the playoffs, like a liability, horrible. And it sucks because we have such an incredible coach whom I love so much, who I trust so much, and I respect every one of his decisions. I think at this point he needs to be sat out. And I know that that's a stressful decision in the midst of playoffs where you have to have your best players on the ice at all times. But I don't know. It sucks when it's one person and it's obviously not down to one guy, but things are going well. My hero, if it's not Brendan Smith and Ian Cole, my hero is Seth Jarvis, who actually looks like he wants to be there every time he steps on the ice. And as painful as it is to share, Tony D'Angelo looks really great and
Is he your
an incredible.
MVP?
No, let's not go that far.
Okay.
Let's not go that far. But definitely an impact player for me, and I think that I'm really glad he's on our first power play unit now. Him and Slavin. He definitely did a good job replacing the Dougie Hamilton sized hole in my heart, not morally or ethically, but in matter of skill set.
There's really nothing more like upsetting than the worst person ever being good at hockey. That's how I feel.
It sucks.
It's like Evander Kane.
Both of the Kanes. Both of them. Patrick and Evander. Ugh.
Oh, you're so right. But yeah, every single time, it's so funny because my dad and I both, like, we don't like the guy, we don't support the guy in lots of ways, but my dad's from Jersey, Tony D's from Jersey. Every single time he steps on the ice and does something chaotic, we're like, that is so Jersey. And like the other day when we're at PNC, they played a montage of strictly like him fighting people, him yelling at people, and it was the best hype video I've ever seen. So I guess we need a little bit of that fire because I feel like we lean into this bunch of jerks thing, and obviously it's funny, and like I appreciate that we're for the most part a very clean team. I don't want anybody doing anything stupid, but I do like when we kind of bring a little aggression out, which I think came out a lot during the Bruins series, and I wish would come out more. I think it's fun to watch. I think it helps us win. But my MVP, it's just hilarious to say it, but honestly, I think I'm going to go with Brendan Smith because his current point streak is a 3-game point streak. That's the longest point streak he's had in his entire career. Not just in the playoffs, not just in the regular season. His entire, like, collectively, every game of NHL hockey he's ever played, he's never had a 3-game point streak.
That's a good one.
So
yeah, you should
need that.
Say that with confidence.
Do we also need other people to show up? Yes. But if no one's got me, Brendan Smith's got me.
There you go.
True.
Mic drop. Okay, I love it. So everyone here is taking the Canes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So my final question for you guys is going to be our pop culture segment of the week before I let you go. Reactions to Harry's album.
I'm so embarrassed. I haven't listened all the way through yet.
No,
I have reasons. Okay. I've listened to some of the songs. I have been very busy. I have not finished school yet. Both of these girls have graduated. Mads, have you graduated yet?
I graduated June 12th.
All right, never mind. Sorry, I'm just making.
But my last day of school was today. Today. So,
yeah. So I still have school for another week. I have finals next week, which is bogus. But I've been very busy. I've got like prom stuff. I've got college stuff, and I want to be able to sit and listen to it. I'm packing for a trip tonight. I think I'm probably gonna listen to Harry's House. Although even then, I might like prefer to just like lie in my bed in a catatonic state and listen to it. I'll figure it out. But
it's a sad album.
Yeah. My sister played Matilda in the car for like me on the way home from school. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? But the songs that I've heard, Late Night Talking is a banger. And that's all I've got. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed.
Well, Allie, I was about to say, because for those of you that don't know, Allie is a musician herself. And I feel like we consume music in a similar way where like I was about to get mad at you until you said that you wanted to have a time where you could really like sit and consume it. But I hate like if I have to listen to a whole record, you have a first time through, you have to listen to it all the way through.
Start to finish.
And 100%. People, I'm really grateful now that Spotify changed it to where you can't shuffle albums anymore. Like the autoplay goes from track 1 all the way through. Because if you shuffle an album the first time you've ever listened to it,
psycho,
you are sinning. You are a crazy person. You need help.
I'm a huge advocate of the shuffle button because I like to be kept on my toes. But the first time you listen to an album, it has to be top to bottom all the
Yeah.
way through, or you're insane.
Absolutely.
And I just haven't had the chance to do that yet. You need to it's like it's one of those albums you have to experience it. You can't just listen to it.
I had a main character moment and I listened to it on the train.
Oh,
Ooh,
Fun.
Sandra.
love.
Yes.
I'm gonna
So,
have
okay.
my own venture card just to do that.
Yeah. Matt, do you like it?
I have a lot of thoughts, and they were not all good.
Okay.
I do love the man. Let me preface it by
Honesty
saying
is
I
the
love
best
man.
policy around here.
I'm gonna be living in LA when he is in LA for like 10 dates in the fall. And one of them is Harry Ween. So if I could
Harry Ween
manage
is
to buy a
lit.
ticket, I would, but I don't think I'll manage. I applied for pre-sale and those codes got sent out yesterday. And I didn't get one, sadly. But I just like don't. Do I have the financial means for that? No. Will I figure out how to be there? Absolutely.
Okay,
This
perfect.
album, okay, things that are good that I have to say. First of all, I really appreciated that we only had one real single and then the 2 songs that he performed at Coachella, because I
Yeah.
hate that we've gone into this trend of like
Singles.
people releasing half their album and then the album
Mhm.
comes out and you've already heard half of it, and like majority of the time too, people drop what they know is going to land well and like be well received, and so half the time you're like, well, you just dropped all your best songs.
Yes.
And I had
Perfect.
to like, that part kind of sucks. I definitely think it's fun. Like, that's the things I have to say about it. My complaint is that I think he needs more female songwriters, because Matilda was his like sole female songwriting credit.
Okay.
Shout out to Amy
hate that take.
Allen.
Yep.
And nothing else. And I think that like, well, I think his team's incredible and like he wants to keep it small. I don't know. I feel like if you talk a lot about how you want to be really accepting and be this safe space for people, I think he should work with more women. I do love that like half his band is women, though. Half his live band, and they're really incredible. So that's
Love
a good thing.
that.
Today, this morning, he did cover in the live lounge a song by a band called Wet Leg, who's one of my favorite new little bands, who Ellie and I are hopefully going to see in Chicago in August.
I'm jealous.
So yeah, he like covered a female rock duo song today, and they're opening for him for a couple of dates on tour in Australia, and then a couple of his European dates are opened by a band called Wolf Alice, which is also a female front.
Yep.
So he's doing it. I can't hate on him too much. More than others, he's kind of trying to even the playing field. So of things that I respect, that is it. Also, favorite track is potentially, besides Matilda, probably Satellite, because that is a One Direction song.
Ooh,
like there's no way around it. It sounds like a One Direction song. And I respected that.
Okay. All right. Callie, your reaction.
I'm a big One Direction fan. I love them. I pulled an all-nighter for the 10th anniversary.
Nice.
But this album did not hit. Especially like when he had such other masterpieces, I know that it's hard to like come and put like consistently this great workout like he did with Self-Titled and Fine Line, but it just wasn't the best. It all kind of sounded the same, and I like this new sound, but when it all kind of, it's hard to do like different things though with this like this type of sound, this like indie day glow type of music. But I really enjoyed it. I think Matilda's definitely my favorite, but the transition from Matilda to Cinema was a crime. Going from this like sad song to like 70s disco.
That's what I keep hearing, and I'm excited to experience it.
Okay.
I love Satellite, and I think honestly, this is my big hot take. I think Love of My Life was an awful closer.
I don't like it at all.
Bad.
I think lyrically, first of all, this is my other pet peeve. This is a music podcast now, by the way.
Yes,
we've converted it. I have a lot of opinions, and my one opinion is like, unless it's like the banger of the century, like completely beautiful poetic song, don't use the word love in love songs. It's my big pet peeve. There's so many better ways to like say you love someone or something than to call something the love of your life. Like, I'm trying to compare it, like in his self-titled record, I feel like From the Dining Table is a really beautiful song that's like, oh, I love someone and now they're gone and now I'm sad. This song was quite literally, you are the love of my life and now you're gone and I'm sad. in direct words, and it was so lazy to me. And then he's like in interviews being like, it's about how much I love London and like how much I love England and how I love where I come from. And I'm like, if you want to write a beautiful song about where where you come from, make it a little better than that. I don't know. I have thoughts. I hate to be mean.
I think my biggest pet peeve about it is that it like he had Fine Line, which is probably one of the greatest album closers of all time. And then to like come from that and do this where it's such a bland song with like there's no meat, the lyrics are so basic. And I love the melody at the end there with like the little piano. I loved how they teased it. And why couldn't they like put that in the middle or something and then built up again at the end for like this big ending? It felt like it needed some more build or just something more than just how basic it was. And it was like, it was really unsatisfying. I was like, really, that's it? And just not his best work. Even if he like, I think this is a great era for him, like mentally and physically, but just the music that came out of it is probably not my favorite.
I love that we got into some Harry slander here because that is so rare for this podcast. All right. Final thing before I say bye, Allie, I need a McDonald's chicken nugget review.
All right. We're trying it out. My sister
just had McDonald's delivered. All right. What's your sauce of choice?
Ketchup. All
okay.
The time. Classic.
Hot take.
That crunch.
Okay. It's a little cold because my sister did not bring it to me for so long. But it hits. Sometimes nothing hits like a McNugget, I gotta say.
You're so right.
Okay.
So true.
Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you.
Love you guys. I know that Sarah loves you guys. This was killer content. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We love you guys too much.
Yeah.
Gonna go watch some playoff hockey.
Oh yeah.